Hello, I'm Yoko Nakano. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present our study, Facilitatory Interference in Processing Syntactic and Semantic Features. It has been reported that sentences like 1a are incorrectly recognized as grammatical. According to the Q-based retrieval model, when a non-argument constituent holds a similar feature or Q to that of an argument of a predicate head, or the verb in the example 1, the non-argument NP is incorrectly retrieved from working memory and is associated with the verb and interferes the dependency formation between the target NP and the verb. In this example, the syntactic Q plus plural of the NP cells in the prepositional phrase incorrectly attracts the verb were and interferes the dependency formation between the target NP key and were. Some previous studies have reported facilitatory effects in behavior and eye tracking experiments. Therefore, facilitatory interference can be triggered by syntactic information. It has also been reported that facilitatory interference was triggered by semantic information. However, not many studies have investigated the effect of different types of features on facilitatory interference with the same sentence structures, especially in languages other than English. Therefore, this study investigated whether different types of features, syntactic and semantic features, trigger facilitatory interference in a single sentence structure in Japanese. 80 native speakers of Japanese were recruited through a Japanese cloud service, Lancers. A total of 48 sets of 8 sentence types were constructed, divided into 8 lists, and mixed with 108 filler sentences. A half of the 8 sentence types were for the semantic condition, and the other half were for the syntactic condition. For the semantic condition, critical sentences constitute a subject NP, an object NP, and a predicate. The object NP constitutes NP2 and NP3 connected with the genitive case marker no, NP no, NP3. In English, NP3 of NP2. NP3 serves as the target that should be associated with the verb, and NP2 serves as the attractor that incorrectly attracts the verb. We manipulated the semantic congruency between NPs 2 and 3 with the verb. In this example, the verb is open, and it requires its object NP to hold the semantic Q openable. A document and a cabinet are openable and semantically congruent with the verb, but a dish and size are not. With the combination of semantically congruent and incongruent NPs, we constructed 4 conditions. For the syntactic condition, we constructed critical sentences from the sentences with the congruent target in the semantic condition. Therefore, the sentence structure is the same as in the semantic condition. In Japanese, when a speaker treats the subject NP as an honorable person, honorific affixes are attached to the subject NP and the predicate. For example, in 4a, the subject NP Tanaka has an honorific affix sensei teacher, and the verb ake open has the honorific affixes o ni natte, resulting in the honorific verb form oake ni natte. A lot of researchers have argued that the honorific congruency between the subject NP and the verb is a syntactic agreement. Therefore, we manipulated the syntactic congruency between the target and attractor NPs with the verb by using honorific affixes. The target NP is the subject NP, and the attractor NP is the NP in the postpositional phrase. In 4a, the subject NP Tanaka and NP2 Ueda have the honorific affix sensei. Therefore, they are syntactically congruent with the honorific verb form. In contrast, in 4d, Tanaka and Ueda have no honorific affix. Therefore, they are syntactically incongruent with the honorific verb form. The honorific affix o ni naru at the verb. In the example, its linking form o ni natte is used only when the subject NP has the cue honorable. Therefore, the examples for C and for D are syntactically awkward or ungrammatical, regardless of whether or not NP2 has the honorific affix. With the combination of syntactically congruent and incongruent NPs, we constructed 4 conditions. We used a speeded acceptability judgment task. Sentences were presented word by word, and each word was presented for 300 milliseconds with a 100 millisecond ISI. And at the end of each sentence, participants were instructed to make an acceptability judgment to the sentence by clicking a yes or no button within 3 seconds, and after that, a yes or no type of comprehension question was also given. For the overall analysis, we conducted a GLNM logistic regression with information type, target, and attractor as fixed factors, and the dependent variable was yes or no acceptability judgment responses. We adopted the maximal random effect model with random intercept and slope for subjects and items. We also conducted post hoc tests. And in the results, we found that the main effect of target, attractor, and the interaction between the information type and target were significant. As for the interaction between the information type and target, sentences with congruent targets were judged more acceptable in the semantic condition than in the syntactic condition, but the tendency was reversed for the incongruent targets. And in the condition where the target was incongruent, sentences with the congruent attractor were judged as more acceptable than sentences with the incongruent attractor, both in the syntactic and semantic conditions. These results indicate facilitatory interference both in the syntactic and semantic conditions. For discussion, the first point is about the significant interaction between the information type and target. We found it because the sentences with congruent targets were judged more acceptable in the semantic condition than in the syntactic condition, but the tendency was reversed for the incongruent targets. These results suggest that the semantic incongruency is easier to notice than the syntactic incongruency. The second point for discussion is about facilitatory interference. In the condition where the target was incongruent, the sentences with the congruent attractor were judged as more acceptable than the sentences with the incongruent attractor, both in the syntactic and the semantic conditions. These results indicate facilitatory interference both in the syntactic and the semantic conditions. In conclusion, the facilitatory interference observed for different information types suggests that the same mechanism is possibly used in processing different types of information. Thank you very much for your attention.